Do you ever feel as if you're trying to be everything to everybody, but then when it comes to yourself, there's nothing left and you're pissed off? Well, this week on Motivation and Confidence, we're going to tell you how to do the best for yourself. Stay tuned. All right, everybody worldwide, you're now tuned into Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. And I'm your host, Tom Danger. Back this week with a new episode. And this week, first of all, thank you so much for tuning in. Podcasts are booming right now, and every mama, cat, and dog has one. So if you're spending time with me in this very moment, listening to this on your way to work, or on your way to school, or while you're working out, or while you're just chilling in the crib, or if you're sipping on your wine, or you drinking some juice, whatever you do, sipping water, I appreciate you, and thank you so much for tuning in. And with that being said, please like, subscribe, and share this with somebody who you think would find the information useful. As always, if you have a topic that you'd like for us to discuss, please leave it in the comments. Although I know most of you do not leave comments, feel free to email me, Tommy Danger, TOMMY DANGER @gmail.com, or hit me on Instagram or Twitter. I'm pretty much on both pretty frequently. Hashtags @TomDanger, TOMDANGER, and that's on Twitter and on Instagram. Cool. Now we get down to business. So I was about to work with a client this week, and some things came up and they had to reschedule. And I looked at this person's assessment, and I noticed that, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, when I'm doing the coaching stuff, it's a DISC assessment that looks at the 4 behavioral traits, how you make decisions, how you interact with people, how you adapt to change, and how you are cautious with procedures. So in this particular person's profile, it almost showed like even across the board. And one of the things that I've discussed with other coaches and that we've noticed is that when a person has, or if you have this particular personality type, it is when you try to be everything to everybody at the same time. And it's very, very dangerous. I've been there before. I wouldn't say I'm there now. I'll wait to tell you toward the end of the podcast why I'm not. But I always like to start with the story. So I remember when my mom first came home from, where was she at? Nursing home. Right, 'cause she had past cancer. It was challenging, lost a bunch of weight. Memory was, loss of memory, loss of appetite, just a whole bunch of stuff. Couldn't walk, couldn't use the bathroom. And the place that she was at, it just didn't, I felt as if they weren't giving her the care and attention that she needed. So I did my best to get her home. Now, in my mind, I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought that, bringing mom home, everything was going to be cool because now ma's home. And, at one time, ma was mine. She could take care of things. Your mom basically holds things down. But in this state, it's the total opposite. So now she's back to a childlike state. And I don't know why in my mind, in addition to being married and having 4 kids and a job that's demanding and, trying to pursue other entrepreneurial interests, I thought I would be able to handle this. But like trying to get her to do something as simple as like eat was like a challenge. I would find myself like getting really excited or just trying to help her get her mobility back, scheduling physical therapists, occupational therapists, in-home nurses, doctor's appointments, prescriptions, now paying, her bills, following up on the medical bills, taking care of my bills. Wow. Yeah, 2 kids were in college at the time. Youngest kids. Me and my wife trying to hold everything down. Appreciate my wife because she put up with me through this difficult time. She's behind the camera right now. She's the best wife ever. Yeah. But after a while, I just felt like I was being pulled in every direction. And there's such a thing as caregiver burnout. Because literally I was trying to take care of my mom. I'm trying to be a good husband. I'm trying to be a good father to my kids. I'm trying to be on top of the additional responsibilities that were given to me with the properties that we have. We have properties in other states that needed to be managed and taken care of, taxes and all this stuff. And then, it was like trying to get Ma to eat. And I remember one day something happened and I had my phone and I had raised my voice to my mom. And I don't like raising my voice to anybody, to be honest with you. But if I have to, I will, right? I raised my voice and I noticed that I started to shake. And I had my phone in my hand at that time, and I have to realize this. I have to keep remembering, like, this person, Ma, is ill. She is not in the same state that she was 4 or 5 months ago. Right? She's went through rounds of radiation treatment. Going to the hospital and went into the hospital based on the radiation treatment and her blood levels getting all over the place and wound up being bedridden and then going to a nursing home. And it was just like a domino effect of things that was happening. And I'm watching all this right before my eyes and I'm doing my best to hold together. But at the same time, I think I'm just tired. Like I just want you to eat. I just eat a little bit. And it's like, no. And this food tastes like shit. And you're trying to kill me. And, it went from the state of a person that was so loving and caring to where, like, I'm just being attacked. Like, you're trying to hurt me. And, I have to give blood thinner needles and just all kind of stuff that's going on. So it's piling up on me on top. And then work is just very demanding. So I'm asking her to eat something one day and she like lashes out at me. And I felt like I wanted to grab her. And I didn't. And I raised my voice. And in the midst of everything going on, I just, I lost it. Like I blacked out for a minute. And I had my phone in my hand. And I took my phone and I just threw it into the wall in the hallway as hard as I could. When I threw it, we had a oversized mirror. And it hit the mirror. And, the mirror, as big as it is, it only shattered. It only broke into like 3 pieces, but it made the loudest noise ever. Now, mind you, my paralyzed grandmother's also in the room. She's screaming because she can't move. She can hardly see, but she hears her daughter screaming. She's like, Sandra, what's going on? And she's like, nothing, Ma. Now 2 of them, and I'm yelling. I have to walk out the house. I just reached that point. I'm literally trying to balance everything instead of asking for help. That's what I should have did. I should have asked for help. But no, me being the strong man, I got this, I can handle it. It's my mother. I could take care of everything. And I couldn't. Could not. Right? And I know many of us have these points, and it may not be as intense as mine, or it may be even more intense. The question is, at what point do you ask for help? I had to literally walk out the house and get on the phone and call like a therapist, right? And the first thing they said to me is like, I hate it when they ask this question, right? But they always ask, do you feel suicidal? No, I don't fucking feel suicidal. I'm pissed off because, you know. But that's just the point that I reached. And it's sort of like you have to know when to recognize the signs. I knew that I was frustrated a long time before that. You know when you're doing certain things, you feel your triggers. You know the things that piss you off. And the question is, when you feel those triggers, what do you do? If you know that interacting with certain people makes you very emotional, or certain subjects, or certain interactions, you have to know when to pull back, right? And when you pull back, here's the key point. When you pull back and that other individual may feel some sort of way, fuck them. Let them feel some sort of way, because no matter what you do, it's never enough unless it's to the benefit of the other individual, right? In that particular moment, there was nothing that I could physically do additional for my mom that would make her eat, that would make her act normal when she's sick. It's me accepting in my mind that she's sick. And certain people that we deal with have their own things that they go through, but we so worried about our own shit that we take it personal. And I know a lot of us out there, we just have this feeling of, I don't want to be in conflict with people, or I don't want to seem as if I'm acting shady or like I don't care. Sometimes you have to care enough not to care. Let that sink in for a minute. Sometimes you have to care enough not to care. You have to care for yourself first before you can care for other people. And if you're trying to care for everybody, I guarantee you that you're not caring for yourself. And a little bit that you do have for yourself, at some point, that's going to run out. And then when it runs out, how are you going to recharge yourself? What people are you going to surround yourself with? What environment are you going to put yourself in? And the crazy part is that as I'm sitting here telling this whole situation, a lot of times we go through things, and the people that are draining the most energy from us are the people that we love and care for the most. The ones that we think that would be there to recharge us, they actually drain us. Now, I'm not saying that. No, I am saying that. Like, my mom's condition drained me because I was not mentally or physically prepared to deal with it. In theory, it felt good to I'm going to get my mom out of the nursing home. I'm going to take care of her. But to actually do the work, I was in over my head. Way in over my head. So when you feel yourself getting into a situation that's over your head, when you feel yourself that you are trying to please everybody and you cannot be everything to everybody, you have to ask yourself, is this really worth me losing myself? Is it worth you losing sleep? Is it worth you losing your appetite? Is it worth you going through the confusion? Instead, do your best to surround yourself with those who are going to help your situation. An example. Mom needed help. I had to hire an additional caregiver, right? We already had one caregiver, but I had to hire an additional caregiver because trying to come home from work and change my mom and do this, I had to ask my wife to step in, like, yo, could you help me out here? Right? And I'm not saying step in. She had been there from day one, already giving 150%. But physically caring for your elders who, 24/7 is a whole different ball game. So look for outside help, right? To actually help your situation. I know a lot of us are somewhat afraid of therapy, but if you need to speak to a therapist, talk to a therapist. If you don't need therapy and you feel like you need to speak with a coach, speak with a coach. Remember, therapy, reflecting things in the past, coaching to help you deal with the present and going forward. So this way you don't get too confused. If you have past issues that you need to deal with, go to the therapist. If you have present things that you need to deal with and figure out how to move forward, go with the coach. If you don't have money for caregiver, if you don't have money for therapist, if you don't have money for coach, reach out to friends and family. Ask friends and family if they can help you with your situation. Sometimes you just need a person to listen to what you're going through. There are tons of self-help materials out there, books, videos. Hey, Motivation and Confidence podcast. This is why we're here, to share our stories and information to help you deal with the challenges that you may have on a daily basis. But there are tons of other great podcasts out there as well. Videos. So it's not always tied to a dollar. And one of the things that I always encourage is meditation. You taking that time to yourself and closing your eyes and breathing and just being still so that you can be one. Another really, really good thing is spending time in nature. And then, simple things with your self-care is the type of foods that you eat, the type of things that you watch. Just all of the elements that come into your circle that can help you not reach the point of feeling drained and feeling burnt out and what you need to do, because you'll never be everything to everybody. And then you'll notice that even when you start taking care of yourself and you get that glow, like you see that glow that I have right now, like my beard, for those of you, you can't see it if you're listening to this, but if you go on YouTube and you look at like my beard, it just has like this sheen to it. And it's not just the oil, it's the self-care that I've been putting into myself in the past, 2 years, in which I encourage you to put self-care into yourself so that you can always deal with the challenges that may come before you, as well as help someone else deal with the challenges that they may face. All right? This is Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best.